Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
The Banana and Links podcast. Do you remember the Atari Lynx?
No. Hello. I'll just put that to the side.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I was gonna play some Zelda, but apparently there's something else we should be doing.
Okay. All right. I'll save.
Wait, is there something else we're supposed to be doing other than playing Zelda?
Not that I'm aware of. Why are we
Oh.
all on stream?
I don't know. I was gonna go just play some more Zelda, but
All right.
so, right. I do an intro at the beginning of this, don't I? I think I wrote one up for this. Okay.
Really?
Whew. Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Mobile First is a noble first, helping us stay versed in the verse. We're immersed and submersed in the worst thirst for all the information CIG can disperse. That said, I've coerced 3 men to lurch from the sidelines where they typically lurk. Nehkara is the worst hearse driver in all the verse. CS has a thirst for pursed lips to converse, while Shiver's unrehearsed verses are interspersed with unreversed puns. He's the worst. I'm David, I'm back, and this rhyme's unrehearsed, but I'm nursed back to health and a thirst to be immersed back in the verse, because guess what? Mobile comes first. Oh,
Well done.
what's that?
Congratulations.
What was that a congratulations for?
You're back.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm back. I was gone for a bit. I decided to Tilu. No, Erris' return will not save the sinking ship. Blah. I caused the sinking ship. The sinking ship. I am the reason the ship is
On the
sinking.
seashore.
This ship never left the damn dock.
So it doesn't have to leave the dock to sink. I am proud that we are sinking this ship while it is still moored.
Actually, I have to say...
I don't know about anyone else. I'm not happy about being seaman.
Shiver
Okay.
Battery, everyone.
So Shiver's on the cast, apparently.
Oh.
I have to say, and this comes with a bit of shame, but I actually have sunk a boat that was tied to the dock.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's what happens when you don't put the plug in.
Was it like one of those like aluminum boats or little dinky boats?
No, it's just our fishing boat.
Oh,
So,
It's
wow.
not small.
right.
And it's not-
Let's we're going to move on from the banter cuz cuz I've been away from a while. Well, like we're going to shift the banter to some other banter cuz I have had like a 3 to 4 week hiatus, whatever you call it. I kind of just wanted to take a break from Star Citizen, so I did. And honestly, I'm kind of happy I did. It's kind of nice to come back and like be kind of like, what did I miss? Oh, and like be told all these things that happened while I was away, and just be kind of excited again. It's nice to be excited again. And look, the bow tie, it's here. I'm excited about Star Citizen again, so that's good. What did happen while I was away? Nehkara, what did I miss?
Nothing.
Nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
We all got scammed.
Ducks
Well,
confirmed.
Actually, what happened?
Obviously, the first one, 2.6.1,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that happened.
Yes, and 2.6.1 plays quite nicely.
They have the mega map single player in that, so load times in single player maps are crazy fast. And 2.6.2 is going to have the multiplayer version of that, so Should make loading into Crusader and all that stuff really fast.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm.
The most important bit about 2.6.2 is full 21:9 support.
Oh yeah. For all those people that
not just 21:9, but
No.
other aspect ratios other than 16:9.
For all those people that don't want to, have a decent monitor that you can see on and decide that they want just weird.
To surround themselves with screen. Are
There's a guy with
are you
two
harassing
boxes in
people
front.
again, Erris?
No, but Ghost is trying to harass me in chat, and I'm not falling for it, Ghost, because I was gonna do this speech a little later, but I'm gonna do it now. I'd just like to point out that several months ago, I believe on this very podcast, I started a campaign. The campaign had a hashtag that I don't think anyone used, but it doesn't matter. I still had a hashtag for it. It was hashtag mobile first. And now I do believe that we found out this week, right? This week? Or was it last week?
I'm not this week. I'm Shiver.
Well, we've actually found we heard about it a couple weeks ago, and it was reiterated this week.
It's just nice to know that you have an impact, because mobile first.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Well,
Second.
it's
Mobile
not
second,
first,
but
it's way sooner than it was originally plotted at CitizenCon.
yeah, which honestly, it's great. It sounds like they're basically making Discord, and Discord is amazing because it's on phones and because it works on phones. So I'm really happy that CIG have moved up the timetable on mobile Spectrum. Just wanna.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like I've tried to use a Spectrum on mobile, and I mean it theoretically works, but it's not great. You really do need a native solution.
Yep. Okay, let's talk the news of the week. CS,
The news of this week.
do you want to run us through some of the things that we saw in ATV this week?
Oh, what did we see in ATV this week? Well, first off, the format of the studio report is different. I don't know if you knew that, David, where instead of having like just one discipline, they have basically all the disciplines, almost like a monthly report summary, which is really cool. So a lot of it's visual, but I mean, go ahead.
No, it's your show. I just am like overly excited, so I'm gonna shut up now. Sorry.
The big thing is the trade is on its first pass, so they're getting that into the game. They're getting that configured. Shopping and actually how that affects like the buy and sell. Like people buy a whole bunch of this. Well, then there's going to be orders for that, and then so that's going to be submitted to players, and then all that kind of stuff. So that's a really big push for them right now, which I think is good because I think it's a good sign that probably 3.0 isn't as far off as we thought, maybe. But then again, with Happy Hour, when someone asks, will you keep your beard until 3.0? And he's like, well, I don't know. I don't think my wife would let it go that long. And we're like, oh, 3.0 isn't as close as we thought. Making it all over a beard.
Although his beard is already gigantic, so I don't know.
Magnificent.
I mean, it is magnificent, but it is gigantic.
What else? Oh yeah, Cutlass Black. I mean, that's coming along really well. Prospectors wrapped up its gray box. Buccaneers getting its animations finalized. What else?
Shops. Trading.
Yeah, well, I've already said that. So
It's
that's basically been the focus. So like, yeah.
I kind
Well, I
of
think-
Go ahead, Nehkara. You've been wanting to. You're excited, so go, Eric, go.
I wrote an article like a couple weeks ago. Which have you read my article, David?
I have not. I was on hiatus and have not.
I know, but I told you about it as soon as you came back.
I
So I'm gonna
forget
bug you about it
things.
until you read it.
Okay.
Anyway, it was they had originally shown us a trade. Basically, what I actually discovered was a trade map from the Stanton system that focused on how the mobi-glass is created. So it showed all the sources for all the raw materials, and then all of the component factories, and then all the components came together on Microtech, and that's where the factory was for the mobi-glass. So then this week we got to see basically reinforcing that article I wrote was that they had this big sort of layout of how the economy works in its entirety. And they showed that during ATV, and it was it's actually really complex, which is one of the things I mentioned in my article. Like raw materials get made into like components for things, and then the components get sent to the factories for the factories for the final products, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that happens in between. And they also tied in the agriculture side, which we didn't see any of before, and also mentioned that there will be like you'll be able to create things on the agriculture side that are vices, so things like I'd imagine things like tobacco, and then there's even legal vices and illegal vices, so drugs and then things like alcohol and smokes. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. There's a lot of detail there. Also went into all of the different we actually found out what gas does. Gas actually is how you get antimatter.
Okay.
So the gas resources on the map are for antimatter. Because I was wondering.
So, man, I don't even know where to begin with this, because trade is interesting. It's one of the things. Well, this is something that they've talked about for years now. Like the economy and how subsumption in the economy will work together, and to know that they're finally working on trade and starting. Like, I thought they had fleshed out lots of the commodities a long time ago.
Which they have. I mean, there were actual names for all the commodities in the trade map. So
Yeah, it just like it sounds like they're, picking out which ones they're going to start working on first. I'm glad.
Didn't they have a basic simulation of trade working a couple of years back? Just a very early simulation of it.
Yeah.
yeah, that was sort of their first work on trade. Yeah.
Well, more like a proof of concept kind of thing.
Yeah, and they had that board game that they they did as well, and it's good to know that they've started working on trade itself, and that it's hopefully going to be coming relatively quickly, because that's going to make most of the game. There needs to be, like, right now, again, it's just combat, but mining and everything else, there needs to be something that drives you to mine. The high, like, gold has a higher price right now. Let's hop in the prospector and go try and find gold specifically because some bloody, some manufacturer needs a whole bunch of gold because the Retaliator's chip set is made with gold, and a whole bunch of Retaliators got knocked out in a fleet battle last week, and we need to replace them all. Like, all of that comes from trade.
Yep. And the cool thing is that is exactly like, a lot of games fake that, but this game actually, like, that is how it works. In order for this factory to make a Retaliator, it needs gold. So then, if it has to make lots of Retaliators, then the demand for gold goes up, and so on and so forth. One of the things that we did learn this week is, well, I mean, we'd heard hints before, but the truck stop is going to be in the next major patch. It's a new type of station, and we found out that in any station that doesn't have a TDD,
What is
will
TDD?
have a trade and development division.
There we go.
It's like a stock market. It's a much larger scale trading platform for commodities.
Okay.
any
Sorry,
station-
acronyms are the bane of my existence.
Fair enough. Any station that doesn't have a TDD will have an admin office, and that's where you sell the station the supplies that keep it running. So things like food and water and fuel and stuff. We actually found out quite a bit of stuff this week about the economy.
I'm gonna post something in chat here quickly. Someone sent me an Imgur picture of some stuff from Ben about the next concept. So I'm just gonna post that in the chat for everyone to take a look at.
End of March for next concept. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Sorry. Carry on, Nehkara. Yes, it was Chris GBGWTB.
Awesome. The other thing we found out is that they are going to ease themselves in with the economy, which makes sense. It won't be a full simulation right off the bat because they want to make sure that everything works first. So the prices will be maybe not static. They might be static, but they might also just vary within a small range. And then they want to make sure all the underlying trade systems work before they unleash a simulation on us that actually controls all the commodities.
This is part of the reason why we've got to have so many NPCs to so many player characters, because there's no way all the player characters would ever be able to meet the needs of just the standard UEE Navy. So it's got to be bulked up like that, yeah. Otherwise, the universe will grind to a halt.
And not every single player wants to go out and mine or go out and cargo. Like, lots of people want to just blow stuff up, so.
Does anyone remember what the eclipse is? I'm not even going to go look it up. I'm waiting for chat. Tell me what the eclipse is, because I can't remember.
I've been on hiatus for so long, I don't even remember what the eclipse is. I know that the 600 should probably be coming at some point soon-ish.
Yeah. Everyone who was here last week, don't say anything about the 600, please.
Why is that?
I did a bad thing.
Oh. Okay.
So
wait, what was
Moving
that
on,
bad thing?
moving on.
Nehkara? What was that bad thing? I
I
am really interested.
He caught his foot in his mouth.
That's right. Thank you for the save there, Shiver.
So I'm really excited about trade and stuff, and it's good to hear that there's I'm gonna copy this, that there's a lot of work going on some of the ships. I'm really excited to see the Cutlass.
Oh man,
Have you seen the?
I have not seen the rework. Again, I haven't even caught up. Like, I'm back today, but I haven't even caught up on what I missed the past 4 weeks. Like, I'm coming into this new again and just completely empty.
They showed a clip of the what looks almost finished interior of the new Cutlass, and it looks just amazing.
Yeah,
it looks how
amazing.
the original concept was. So
okay,
that's the big thing.
They also tied it in with the Caterpillar. Like, they took bits of the Caterpillar to kit bash it, and it just ties everything together really nice.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I already love my Cutlass.
It looks a bit sleeker,
but I'm happy with it. So
good. I picked up a Cutlass. I don't know when anymore, but I'm kind of excited for the Cutlass, to be honest. But I want to do something self-serving because I can, because I'm running the show and I can do whatever I want. Damn it! I wrote an article yesterday. Yesterday?
Yep.
Yesterday, that Nehkara helped me put up. I'm gonna put it in chat. I want to talk about a bit about that article and why I wrote it and what I'm hoping, I guess, from Star Citizen, and I want to know what you guys think of this as well, because I've been playing a lot of Zelda, like an awful lot of Zelda. It might be one of the best games I've ever played. It's certainly almost a shoo-in for Game of the Year this year. I don't think anything else is going to come. Like, it's so good. But and Nehkara is playing it right now, and I should be, because it's right beside me, because I love the Switch. But the thing that I'm realizing as I'm playing through Zelda is I had no idea really what I was going into it. Like, I knew people were saying it was great, there's weapons, all that, but I went into it not really knowing much. I went into it and I'm finding myself being surprised by it constantly, and not just being surprised, but one of the biggest things about the game that I'm finding is it's all about exploring. Like, it's all, even you climb giant towers to unlock portions of the map, right? Then you unlock it, but everything else inside that is still hidden. You still have to find it and go to it yourself and like look through a looking glass to find it. And I guess I'm spending some time here thinking how I hope that Star Citizen kind of does something the same. The planets are going to be too big for us to, like, we need to have scanning to find whatever it is we're looking for on a planet, right? Otherwise,
Yeah, of
planets are
course.
just too large. You'll never find anything. But I'm really, really hoping that planets, like, the scanning will like narrow your field that you're looking for, but then you'll have to say land and explore and try and find stuff on your own, because the exploration is just
Well, they specifically said there's going to be different kinds of scanning, and I'm pretty sure that would apply to also planets as well. Is that, you know, one person may be able to see, like, the biggest one was when they were talking about mining. Is that, you know, let's say a 315 sees an asteroid. Hey, it's an asteroid. You know, a Carrick may see, hey, this asteroid's compromised of this, and that. Prospector goes in and goes, hey, this is where that is.
Yeah.
And I could very much see the same thing on a planet where, hey, I've noticed some points of interest, but I don't know what they are. And then another ship was, hey, I've located maybe some metallic signatures that could be ore or wrecks or whatever. And then you'd actually physically go down on the planet and check it out for yourself. So I could definitely see that. Also, sorry to hijack.
no problem.
So you know how in ATV they said they were finishing up the gray box of the Prospector. Why do you think
Yeah.
that is?
Mining.
It's because mining's in 3.0.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And we need
Did you know that?
Well, it's actually kind of interesting because originally, months ago, they had actually said several times that the initial release of mining would be on planets only, and it wouldn't need a ship. You'd be doing it by hand. And I mean, if they're rushing the Prospector, it kind of sounds like they've changed that and will be mining in space, which also requires asteroid tech to be redone, right?
It should also
It
be
might
noted,
be
though.
planetary mining with it, though.
True.
Yeah, I should also note that the prospector actually specializes in planetary mining.
True.
It can mine asteroids, but its specialty is on ground.
I will say though, I don't think the Prospector has actually been rushed, and here's why. So originally they were slating 3.0 for the end of the year
Yeah.
of 2016, right? That wasn't going to happen. However, that doesn't mean the roadmap changed. I think it's actually still on pace of where it actually was. It's just 3.0 itself.
3.0
It's obviously
moved,
together
not
with
the
the core.
ship. Yeah.
So 3.1 is basically becoming into 3.0 because, hey, it's already becoming ready. Like, they've already started working on the planetary, I think, what was it? The previous ATV where they showed the image of, like, the equipment actually to mine on the surface of a planet. You know, obviously outposts are coming and all that stuff. I think, yeah, basically what's in 3.1 is being moved into 3.0 just because it's you know, it's on the roadmap. It's already been scheduled for that specific time. So.
Yeah.
One of this is actually why, and none of this is official, so don't take it as gospel or anything, but this is why me and a few folks at Relay have been suspecting that there's probably going to be a 2.7 patch, simply because dropping all of those mechanics into 3.0 all at the same time is likely to be very difficult. So what they might do is between now and 3.0, they might take everything that's done, that's ready to go, and put it into Crusader. Because they've already finished, it looks like, the moons of Crusader. We saw Yella and Selen and Daymar already. So they might give us what they have ready in an interim patch. So you might see like a bit of mining and some cargo and the procedural moons, so you can go explore them. But that's just theory crafting.
Yeah. I mean,
Theory crafting. Although we will
let's
find
say-
out. We will find out at the end of March because
Yeah.
that's the other thing I wanted to mention. 2.6.2 is still on schedule for March 23rd live release.
okay.
So like a week or two after that, we'll get our next production schedule, which should be a major patch, whether it's 3.0 or 2.7 or whatever.
One thing that people in chat are saying that I think probably makes sense is actually getting cargo out a bit early with a few things to move to make sure that, because I mean, they do like QA, they've got QA interior, but we are the mass of QA testers. We are testing the game for them, and it's good for them to have stuff tested before, like, it'll be good for them to have cargo tested before 3.0, right? For example.
Oh, I completely agree. And same thing with the procedural worlds. Like it'd be so easy for them to just stick in Yella, Selen, and Daymar and go, go land. Make sure you don't explode your ship when you try and do it. It would be a good microcosm for them to test these things. And subsumption too. They can put NPCs into or more NPCs, I mean, into the Crusader map. I don't know. I think it would be a good test bed for some of these features before they have to do them on a solar system scale.
Yeah. That said, I just want 3.0. I want it all to come together.
I agree, but I think that it would be a way for them to get another major patch out before 3.0, which I think is a ways off.
Probably.
So,
I have, however, been thinking of something else that I can't even remember in my, mess of a brain if they talked about this years ago or not, but I'm starting to realize that another thing that Star Citizen really needs is fishing.
yeah.
I think they did say that they had it as well, or were going to put it in.
I hope they did.
Because you've got to expand your fish collection.
Well, yeah. So
But that's what I'm in for, is to fish.
Wait,
this is Fish Citizen, isn't it?
Well, of course it is. First of all. Second of all, I'm going to take a brief aside here to talk about Zelda because I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Is there fishing in Zelda?
No.
I'm not that far into the game yet.
There is not fishing in Zelda, and it's actually something that people are really disappointed and angry in. There hasn't been a good fishing in Zelda since Ocarina of Time, and Ocarina of Time at the time was actually the best fishing game. It was the best fishing game you could get, but it was it. There's no fishing. You can jump into water and swim after fish and grab them, but there's no fishing rod, and that's stupid because Zelda needs fishing. And so does Star Citizen.
That's
Do you know what they're talking about? CS.
CS.
That's the first.
I don't have a clue.
That's the first DLC. That's the first DLC for Zelda.
Actually, no. The first DLC is like hardcore mode.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
So apparently Ben just did a Q&A on the Spectrum. It wasn't planned or anything, and there was some interesting info in it. So the character's being started later this year.
Okay.
There's going to be some concept coming of the Bennu Merchantman, or a concept piece of the Merchantman. The Terrapin will be flyable this year. If there's something that's awesome before 3.0 is like locked in, they may do an interim patch. So it's possible. Turrets are getting some special love because of the hurricane. There will be a new concept.
Need to work.
There will be a concept at the end of March. A new concept at the end of March.
I'm getting linked to some Ben quotes here, and it sounds like they're going to be focusing less on combat ships and more on support ships. Especially the next chunk of concept ships are all more support or career focused, which good because I think Star Citizen at this point does actually have enough combat ships. You've got like there is a wide breadth of combat
I'd really
ships.
like to see some more mining ships. We've got the ultimate one that you aim for, the Orion. We've got, I wouldn't call it a starting ship necessarily, but because it's quite large and you could probably do quite a lot with it. But we need something in between, something that a small group of miners can use, so we could destroy. I mean, we could watch them.
I'd like my starter reclaimer. I'd like something, you know, what is Garbage Woman's first, you know, first
Yeah, they
reclaiming
definitely need-
ship.
Exactly.
Need a salvage ship that's very small that you
Yeah.
can just kind of
And we
in.
need something else for repair. We need something smaller for repair that can just, you know, something small, light, and fast that can pull up beside a Connie and do like repair.
The Star Citizen equivalent of a worker bee.
Yeah.
I see. The thing is,
Star Trek.
I think that that's going to be the Argo, because the Argo is going to be capable of repairing,
But-
at some point.
It will,
But there will
the
be-
Argo needs
they-
to be in another ship, right?
They
Yeah,
did
it doesn't. It
confirm
has no
that they-
jump drive.
They did confirm they are working on a concept though for some of those in between ships, like repair, salvage, and stuff like that. We just may not see them for a while. Also, Ben said, yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, someone's asked what ships are going to be flyable in 3.0. It's like, can't say, but there's going to be several. So obviously, we know the Prospector is going to be 3.0.
Yeah.
The Cutlass Black rework is going to be in 3.0. Buccaneer is going to be in 3.0. What else do you guys think might be in 3.0?
I'd like a hull.
I
I know it's unlikely, but
We haven't
I'd
heard. We haven't heard any.
I'd really
we
like
haven't
a
heard
hull.
anything about it.
If
No.
cargo's coming in, if they're gonna start, you know, trying to see how mass amounts of cargo can work decently, we need a hull. And if they're including like small, like you said, like truck stations essentially.
Yep.
We need a hull. Like there needs to be something to dock at those to move cargo. So I
actually don't think it would take them very long to build either. They have the MISC ship pipeline pretty much nailed down.
yeah.
I think it would probably be a pretty fast ship for them to make.
They've done a lot of MISCs, so
Yeah. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I think they could kit bash it, but
I think 3.0, if we were to see the hull, because they're finishing up the Prospector and they're working on the Merchantman.
Ben has said that the next concept ship will not be the 600.
no.
Sucks.
One thing that I did want to mention to you, David, because I think that you would your level of respect for Ben will inch up just a little bit more.
Not possible.
He said the ship that he's most looking forward to is the Endeavor.
Everyone should most be looking forward to the Endeavor. The Endeavor is no, seriously. What originally in the game, originally in the Kickstarter, the Freelancer was the most exciting ship because the Freelancer was the one that wasn't combat focused. It wasn't piracy focused. It was the one that suggested there's more to the game than just blowing up other ships.
Mm-hmm.
The next ship that to me really screamed that was the Reclaimer, and the Reclaimer was something that said there is another game on top of this that you wouldn't even normally see. Like mining, yes, you see mining in every single MMO. Salvaging old ships, that's just on another level. And then the Endeavor is like it is the culmination of all of the crazy, mad, out there thoughts that Chris and Aaron and Tony have all had. That is the Endeavor. It is the most exciting ship in the game.
No, it really is because it's got like it covers a lot of game mechanics, like a lot. You know, it's a research ship and a weapons manufacturing ship and a drug manufacturing ship and a farm and a hospital and an exploration ship, like, and on and on and on and on.
I'd just like to remind everyone the question document is posted in chat. Throw your questions up on there. We'll start answering them in about 10 to 15 minutes. So throw us some
Interesting.
questions.
This is a really good time for Ben to start to do his Q&A. It gives us some ammo.
Yes. But no, I don't know. Like, to me, Freelancer was not like I never played the Wing Commander games. And the Wing Commander games were more about combat, and that's fine. But to me, Freelancer, I never even finished the main story of Freelancer. To me, it was all about Shiver. You seem disappointed in me.
You didn't play Wing Commander.
No,
it's like
I
it's
didn't.
like it's but
I'm
if
not
you
as
want to know what
old.
Squadron
I'm not
42
as
is
old
going
as
to
you,
be like,
Shiver.
fuck you, fuck you.
Oh wow.
It's if you want to know what Squadron's going to feel like and the story, you know, feel like, then play some Wing Commander, like 3 or 4 if you want to be really fussy about graphics and stuff. But they were really good,
I'm sure they were.
really good.
I was busy.
So I'm a little
playing
bit
Zelda.
concerned about something.
What's that?
What?
I see a potential issue with completing Star Citizen. Apparently, Chris now has the rights to do a Wing Commander movie again, so we might just see him vanish to do a Wing Commander movie at some point. Oh,
Interesting to note. I just looked at the roadmap itself. Yeah, the Hull C is on the schedule for 3.1. So
it might make it then.
because the 85X is already released, the red and blue they're either going to be 3.0 or 3.1. They weren't sure. Well, obviously, you know the black is going to be there. Prospector is going to be 3.0. The Rover, the Dragonfly,
Rover's done. Dragonfly's done.
but they're not in the game though.
No, but they're done.
Yeah.
We've seen
Yeah. Is the Aquila in? I can't
I don't-
remember.
it's done, but I'm not
It's the
sure.
Andromeda, isn't it? But I don't think the Aquila was going to come in. I thought the Phoenix was the first variant they were going to bring in.
No, the Aquila's done. It's ready.
The Aquila is the one going in 3.0 because of exploration. The Phoenix isn't until 3.2. So 3.2 is the Taurus, the Phoenix, the Terrapin, the Harbinger, the Sentinel,
Harbinger.
and the Reclaimer.
Oh, so we should mention, I've mentioned this to David, but we should reinforce it. David, the Reclaimer is currently being made.
Yeah, I know.
There are
I'm-
two teams of artists working on it.
Because that's what's required. Because it's gigantic.
It's huge.
I cannot wait to. I can't wait to fly that ship.
I mean, all you really need to know is that it eats other ships.
Yes.
So
What else do you need? No, but like I was saying before, like back playing Freelancer, I was more excited about trading, about, you know, taking stuff from one system and finding another system where it was cheaper, and like the living universe excited me more than the combat, and I'm way more excited about all of the universe ships that are coming to Star Citizen than about any of the combat ships at all.
I agree.
Did you ever play any of the X games?
No.
Oh, you might like them. That's just like it's a very small version of Star Citizen
The problem is
and single player.
I need
It's all right.
graphics now. I'm a graphics
It's not an old
snob.
game. It's not an
There-
old game. The
there's a-
graphics are
there's
still
a-
there.
There's
still
a
good
fairly
graphics.
new one out there.
Yeah.
Maybe they should
Yeah.
remake Wing Commander.
Don't toy with my emotions like that.
Maybe they should, you know,
That's what Squadron 42 is.
what they should do is, now that you know, Star Wars is back, maybe they should remake some decent X-Wing games.
TIE Fighter.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Maybe they should just scrap Star Citizen and just make a Wing Commander movie too.
I think that would be kind of bad.
No,
Let's try
the
to find a
first
better
one-
word for that, but
first one was a masterpiece.
well, yes. No, I don't think the movie would be bad. I think that it would be bad to ditch Star Citizen after 5 years.
Yes.
Well, 4.5 years, but
You know, I was about to try and argue with Chris saying that EA doesn't make good games. Because I was like, no, I'm sure EA have made a good game recently. I just can't.
Well,
Battlefield.
Andromeda looks really good, and Battlefield 1 is good.
Battlefield 1 is actually bad. It is not a good game.
Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's do this.
Oh.
Oh no!
1, 2, 3, fight.
It just doesn't feel good.
Look, ladies. Any game that isn't Battlefield 2142 is a bad Battlefield game. End of story.
He has a point.
So 1942 was bad. Battlefield 2 was bad. You're telling me those were bad?
They weren't as good as 2142.
You're saying 2142 was better than 1942?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Go Dynafire.
Yes.
Absolutely better.
I honestly like Battlefield 1. I feel like they've done a good job with it. There's definitely some things they could address, but I think they've just got a pretty good game. It's definitely not like Battlefront was when it came out.
No,
So-
but I find it too...
Oh! Do you know they're doing a sequel to Star Wars Battlefront?
Yes, comes out this year.
What?
What?
Well, is it actually going to be a proper game and not just a tech demo?
Well, it'll have a campaign.
Oh, wow. What?
EA games have never had good campaigns, ever.
No.
And
I don't know. I like
I heard
Bad
Titanfall 2
actually,
had a good campaign.
Again, that's way too big a brush. The BioWare games are incredible campaigns, but
To be
Yes,
to be
but
fair,
those aren't
Respawn
EA. Those are
yeah,
BioWare.
these are. Well, they're made by EA.
No, they're made by BioWare. They're published by EA.
They're published by EA.
Uh,
But then
I-
again, nothing's really made by EA.
Battlefield 1 does have one good thing, and that's the there's the one game mode that's kind of like the
Operations.
yes, Operations is actually a fantastic game mode. It's a great way to shake up the tired old Conquest. I can't stand Conquest anymore. It's
Did you play the Pigeon mode?
No, I haven't played Pigeon.
Pigeon's fun. It's intense.
Just
Good.
Operations. Operations is actually great. They should just make the entire game Operations and get rid of Conquest. I don't know, and we will see. I'm actually really excited. We've got 10 days left till Andromeda. I'm excited for Andromeda. I am really excited to see some exploration because we're not going to have exploration in Star Citizen for a number of
while.
months yet. I'm excited to explore space, and it might be an EA game. It might not be Star Citizen. It might be bad. Who knows? But I'm excited to explore up to 100 planets and fly around them and mine them. And our holiday tells me to go play PlanetSide 2. I did play PlanetSide 2. It was terrible because you couldn't get anything done unless you're in a large group. And I feel the same way about Battlefield 1. Like, you can't get anything done unless you're in a large coordinated group. And finding a large coordinated group is bloody impossible.
I think you just got to get good. I think that's just your problem. I have no problem influencing the battle. Also, though, most Battlefield games, though, you playing with like one or two other people, if you can get a squad, that's awesome. Like, it makes a huge difference. One squad can turn the tide very quickly. But yeah, it's one of those games where it's, you really want to play with other people. And PlanetSide 2, yeah, you got to play with the organized group.
But you need an organized group of like 30 people in PlanetSide to get it
No.
done.
No, I have a group that we're about 20 strong, and on average we field about maybe a squad, which is 12, and we can get shit done.
12.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
was
just
gonna
gotta
say
you just gotta know where to put yourself in those big battles. So
the difference is Battlefield. You can play it as a duo, but you're better off playing as a full squad. PlanetSide, you're better off playing with like 9 other people. It's an MMO. It's the MMO version, so you need to scale up.
But I'm actually really
9,
excited
10
about-
is minimum to get ahead.
I'm
By the way,
excited about
this
Star
is-
Citizen for that because it's going to be more based on the ships, right? And you can run a decent ship actually getting stuff done with 2 to 3 people. You don't need, or you can do it by yourself. Like I'm excited for that.
I want mechs and Star Citizen.
So we should probably start answering
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, let's again, question document, exclamation mark question, exclamation mark K, exclamation mark question mark. Any of those things, go type us a question. Ask us a question. We'll answer it, probably ramble a bit. We probably won't get anything right. We don't really have any more knowledge than anyone else does, but we can sure guess a lot. And, you know, sometimes some of us say things like maybe they should put Spectrum on mobile devices first, and then they do. So clearly,
We have a direct effect on the game.
there we go. So, question time. I'm excited for questions. I'm excited. This is good. It's been a while.
I hope there are no questions.
There are lots of questions.
We got some good questions so far. We need more, but we got some good ones. So, question number 213. We've had 213 since we started this question document. That's actually pretty good. Question number 213. Is aging possible with the face DNA tech we've seen on the last ATV?
If they can do what they've already done with it, they absolutely can do aging. And we already know that aging is integral to Star Citizen's entire game system. So yes,
GDC was recently, right?
yeah, like last
Just
week.
was
Didn't
yeah.
some other studio show off some facial tech using Star Citizen's engine?
Well,
Lateral.
that's actually what they're talking about.
That
It's
is what they're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, 3 Lateral is creating the tech for Star Citizen's facial blending stuff, and it's very, very complex and really cool. Really, really cool. They talked about that on Happy Hour actually. It's a pretty neat system. How you can create like blended faces and they still animate correctly.
Good.
They said there was a lot more to it though, but yeah, because in Happy Hour, Sean Tracy went on a rant about it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Not
what people were saying was they're basically just taking a bunch of preset faces and mixing and matching them, right?
Yeah.
But that's not how it works at all. In fact, that wouldn't work. You couldn't animate it like that if that was how it worked. It's a lot more detailed than that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Then he gave the example of how they had an accidental issue where they placed a torso on a guy, like a preset, whatever, and for some reason the head detached and it went to the knuckle. So it was right there, and the scary part was it was still animating perfectly, so like the whole body would still animate as you would expect it to, and it was just this like I really wish they took a video of it because that would have been just
You know what?
hilarious.
I missed that. We should ask them. They did that a few weeks way back.
What was that
Witch
called?
glitch.
Witch glitch.
Witch glitch. Yes.
Bring
we need witch
back
glitch back.
Witch glitch.
There's our new hashtag.
Hashtag witch glitch. Do it.
Well, we just gotta talk to Tyler. Tyler was the one who started that show.
Tyler?
And
I know you're not watching because you're in Boston at PAX. You should probably, go and find Jake, who's there with Relay. By the way, I'm actually going to take right now, this very second, to tell anyone in the Bostonian area that there is a meetup tonight. It's a bar citizen thing at Jacob Worth in Boston, 8 p.m. tonight. Mr. Jake Acapello will be there on behalf of Relay. If you're in the area and you like Star Citizen, you should go there, have a few drinks, and tell Jake that he smells really bad.
Do you like booze? Do you like spaceships? We've got a bar citizen for you.
At sometime this evening, somebody's gonna walk up to Jake and go, "Dude, you stink," and he's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Perfect. That's all I want. Excellent. Question 214. What ships do you think or hope will become flyable this year? Let's do a round table on this one. Starting with Shiver. We're going to go counterclockwise.
Carrick.
Carrick?
Carrick. Final answer, Carrick. Yeah.
Nehkara?
Love it.
So this is think and hope. I'm gonna go the Hull series and Reclaimer.
CS?
adding on to Nehkara's the Crucible. Obviously the Terrapin's in there. All the variants of the Constellation and the Aurora rework, obviously.
Where's my 300i rework, Chris Smith?
It's coming. After he finishes the Aurora rework, he's working on that, he said.
Owen Bachelor Jr. is doing the Aurora rework. What the hell are you working on, Chris Smith?
Well, no, Chris.
Didn't
Chris
he
Smith
have
did
the Phoenix coming up as well?
Yes.
Is someone doing the Phoenix? Please tell me the Phoenix is still alive.
Yes, Chris Smith is actually doing the Phoenix, so he may be working on that as well. Well, obviously the merchantment's coming out this year. If they didn't come out this year, they just die.
Well, yeah.
They can't. You can't announce it this year and then and then
I mean,
rip
yeah, it's
freelancer
not like they
variants.
haven't done that with 3.0 or Squadron 42 or anything else ever before. CIG would never announce something for a year and then not.
No, that's
the
never happened.
Starliner. I totally forgot about that. Sure.
Everyone forgot about Everyone regularly forgets about the Starliner and goes, "Hey, wait, we have a dedicated passenger liner."
You know what would make everyone remember the Starliner? If they flipped it the other way around. It is a better looking ship if you point it backwards.
Yeah, it would. Yeah,
It's a better looking ship if you point it backwards. You point that thing backwards, people will be so bloody interested in it. Look it up right now.
Well, hang on.
Go look it up.
Whoa, we're in space. There's no laws of physics stopping us from driving in reverse all the time.
What about your thrusters, though? Your main
Someone
thrusters.
get out and push.
So you get up to full speed, you decouple your Starliner, and you go backwards.
Genius.
Someone link it. Oh, where is it? I gotta find it. I've got too many computers here.
Wait, when did we make our holiday a mod?
Oh.
Who's our holiday?
Our holiday.
Oh, what's a good picture of it? Actually, this one's good. Let's view image.
I think that Starline, when it first came out, I think people got a really good deal on that because the price of that was really fair.
Yeah.
And that thing has to get bigger.
See that?
The
if you point it the other way, it's so good. Oh. Anyway.
someone said rip freelancer variants. Yeah, honestly, I feel like
I
out
want
of
my
all the
miss.
ships except the Starliner, the freelancer variants are kind of like, what's happening with them? They're not on the schedule.
Yeah.
And
I'm actually kind of disappointed with the rework they did of the Freelancer, considering all of the work that they're putting into the Cutlass and all the work they're putting in make the Freelancer. I don't think looks as good as it could.
well, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the pipeline has evolved though so much even since the rework has been done. So all that stuff they've learned, they're applying it to the obviously you could say the same, like, well, obviously they're going to always learn new stuff. Well, yeah, but you can just kind of see the difference. So it's possible maybe that's what they're doing. They're just waiting to get some of these other ships done, and then go back to it and then do the whole lineup at the same time.
Don't forget, I think they've changed the whole idea with MISC. When they brought out the freelancers first, there was no notion of this Jean-MISC partnership. Now it's become a bigger thing, and it's the whole of the MISC lineup. So they've probably either got to expand the Jean fleet a bit, or
Shiver,
is it just the one ship that they work on together then?
No. What I mean is the MISC has always had that in its lore.
Has it always had it?
That's actually what the engines are in the Freelancer. They're Xi'an designed.
Well, I mean,
it doesn't show
freelancers
on
are
the
not very.
Freelancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
the freelancer is just very
the
industrial.
problem with that is because if you go back to the original concepts of the Freelancer, the wings on the Freelancer were supposed to rotate. They took that out. The entire wings on them were supposed to rotate. Then they realized, oh, hey, if we've got the wings rotating, missiles are going to be completely useless because the missiles are on the wings, and they decided to stop that. So the Freelancer, but it kind of gets rid of like the exciting thing about the Freelancer, it being using, Xi'an tech, because it basically doesn't anymore because they're just standard engines. I'm disappointed they've let my Freelancer down. Anyway, let's go to
We have questions, lots of them.
Yes. What is still blocking 3.0?
Networking.
Animations, AI, and I don't think all the planets are done yet.
Do you think we'll get a more militarized rover? Yes.
Eventually.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean,
it's
the Ursa is specifically an exploration rover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I expect we'll get lots of different rovers and that we'll be able to kind of mix and match them a tiny bit. Like, you'll be able to take an Ursa and get heavier weapons. They'll be customizable just like the ships are.
and that's
If we
and
don't
they-
get an APC that looks like it's out of Aliens, I'm not pleased.
and I can imagine that in like 3.2, 3.3, we'll probably see tracked variants as well, because
Yeah.
they actually said that. Well, I think it was Sean Tracy said that it's actually extremely easy to do tracked vehicles. It's already in the engine. The engine knows how to do that already. So
I mean,
it's just
y-
as simple as doing it, but animating it and all that stuff. And
Don't they have tracks on one of the Connie variants anyway?
what do you mean?
There's some ship that has tracks on its bloody wheels. I'm trying to remember.
There is. I thought
What the hell is that
not the
ship?
Vanguard, but it's a military ship, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the ships has tracks on it already in its design. Anyway,
Are you
Not
talking
the
about
Tally, the,
skids? Tracks or skids?
I know
Is it
one
the
has
Redeemer?
skids. No, the Redeemer's the shopping
Because
cart.
when I'm talking about tracks, I'm talking about stuff that like it moves. You know, obviously.
The was the Vanguard? Oh, they removed them from the Vanguard. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, question 217. Will you play Mass Effect Andromeda, and what will it mean for Star Citizen? I will play it. I don't think it'll actually mean anything for Star Citizen, honestly.
apparently,
My answer is your answer.
apparently the system requirements though are pretty like insane for it. So I'm wondering if it's going to be just really unoptimized or it's going to be that pretty.
I hope it's that pretty. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how they do exploration. Yeah.
They actually did a bunch of videos really early on showing off Mass Effect Andromeda in 4K.
Yeah.
So I think they have pretty good breadth of graphics options for it, and they better, because some of their videos looked super console-y, like really, really, really console-y. As in terrible graphics.
I mean, CIG might
we'll
be
see.
able to borrow some ideas, but they've
Yeah.
probably already got all their ideas set. If something in Andromeda is something that they were gonna work and like do, and it works badly in game, then I could maybe see them steering away from something. But I can't really see them borrowing anything from Andromeda because, quite frank, like
They're very different games.
I honestly don't think they're going to be like, oh, they did this, let's do that. I honestly think CIG knows exactly what they're wanting to do, and if they see someone else do something similar, they go, cool. But that's about as far as they're going to go in terms of thinking about it. They know what they're going to do. Same with Andromeda. They already have known what they're going to do.
Well, that's the other thing, is that as pretty as it might look, the only thing that I could see them taking from it is graphics tech, because that's one thing they do scrounge around for, is new ways to do things graphically. But I don't think it's going to be advanced enough to really bother with for them.
Question 218. Do you think we'll see something in Star Citizen like the Elite Dangerous Unknown trailer at PAX 2017? I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know.
What is it?
Is it unknown to you?
Yeah, it's unknown. Sorry.
It's unknown.
We 404'd.
Sorry, can't answer that one. We haven't seen the trailer.
Yep.
In general, though, Elite.
Happy for them, but I'm not interested.
I would be stunned if it's anything decent. I really don't like the business model for Elite at all.
Hey, did you guys see the new update for No Man's Sky?
Did you see that No Man's Sky is going to start publishing indie games that have to do with procedural tech? Great. Moving on. Sorry, Zelda has substance, and one of the biggest things I like about it is the substance that it has. Games like Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky just don't have that substance. They don't
Exactly.
have that feeling that I'm seeing something new. They don't have that feeling that this is unique and awesome. It's, oh, yay, this planet looks different than the last one, and I'm going to go to the space station that looks like the same as all the other space. Like, I don't... And I don't even know if Star Citizen is going to succeed at that. I still don't. I'm really, really hopeful.
There's going to be
We
some
want to
repi-
avoid a mundane routine.
Yeah, like repetition is a part of every single game. It's how you go about tackling that repetition in a way that still makes it feel like you've seen something similar, but it's still unique in a way that allows you to go, hey, that's kind of cool. I haven't seen that before. You know, it's okay to have repetition. It's just No Man's Sky did it so like you explore a planet, you do the exact same thing every single time. There was nothing diverse about it. So unfortunately, their concept was great, but it was flawed because it was, oh, go learn this letter, go learn this letter, go learn this letter, talk to this guy, talk to this guy. Okay, go to the next planet. Like,
No. So one of the things that you can already see that sort of points in this direction is that Star Citizen spends an inordinate amount of time on details.
Yeah.
Which is not something that is done in, for example, No Man's Sky. They actually they were talking about the weapons, like the weapons segment this week. They spend an enormous amount of time on the details of weapons and how they sound and how they look and how they animate and whether they fit the character properly. Where's the character's fingers sitting when they're holding the weapon?
In Star Citizen, you can see yourself reflected in someone else's visor.
Yes,
In No Man's Sky, you can't see yourself because you don't have a body. You don't exist.
And you can't see other players because they also don't exist. And it's not actually multiplayer, even though they said it was.
I will apologize right now for the mouse screen, the mouse cursor. It captures my cursor for some reason, and I'm trying to move around an Excel sheet, and it's capturing it. I'm sorry. Next question, 219. When do you think we'll see more medium-sized ships, like the Freelancer to Connie's size, as opposed to either small 1 or 2 man or monster 100-meter long ships? Probably in the next batch of concept ships, because what we're missing for most of the career options is that middle ground ship. We're missing, prospector-sized ships, essentially.
yeah, like we know that Crusade or no, was it Outland? What's the one that makes the Mustang?
Consolidated
Outland.
Consolidated Outland.
They're concepting a Connie killer, as they
Yeah.
quote. We know they're going to make a salvage medium-sized ship or smaller, whatever, and repair.
There needs to be a medium-sized mining ship too, something between the tiny one-man prospector and the 5-man Orion.
Mm-hmm.
Medium-sized salvage, medium-sized exploration.
Well, medium-sized exploration is covered by the Aquila, but they might have a dedicated ship as well.
It's covered by the Aquila and the Dur.
Yeah.
Or wait, is it the Dur? No, it's the.
It's the Dur.
It is the Dur. Yeah, the Dur
It's
has.
the Dur.
It's the Dur, yeah.
So question 220. The planets and moons in 3.0 look very empty. What do you think they'll fill up with?
Well, so far they haven't done a lot of the procedural placement of outposts. That's something that is coming.
Outposts, mining centers, trading posts,
Ecosystems. That's the big one.
crashed ships.
Yetis. I still think Yetis.
Yetis?
Yetis?
Definitely.
Yetis.
There will definitely be Yetis.
They're definitely. Go ahead.
No, I think that's right up the alley. I think things to mine will be a big thing. Things to collect, crash ships, things to explore, derelicts, outposts, lots of outposts since they're modular and they can make them really fast. And now they've actually built it in, as I mentioned before, so they can place them procedurally within an environment. So I don't know. That's the kind of thing I expect to see. They're empty right now because they're trying to get the terrain looking correct before they put in all the other stuff. However, I have to say the terrain is looking real good. Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, it should vary, shouldn't it? Because I mean, if you're on Earth, then you should expect quite a lot of development and things like that. If you're on this barely recognized moon that's got nothing on it, then maybe one outpost and a whole lot of rocks.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Like, there's gonna be. Oh, sorry, CS. Go ahead. I didn't mean to.
Well, I was gonna say it's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay to have some stretches of land that don't have anything, because there's opportunities later on for them to go, oh, so you've already explored this. Well, what happens when we place this later on? Let's say there's a sandstorm or there's a natural disaster that unearths some artifacts or something. Like.
Keep in mind, there will be game masters essentially changing things in the verse so that it will change, right? Like, what
I'd like to know is how in depth will the exploration system go when you're on foot? Will you have to worry as a character about sandstorms? Like, you see this sandstorm coming in and you've got to make a quick shelter or something like that out of some sticks and your old underpants or something, sort of thing, or you're gonna lose a life, sort of thing.
One of the things that I absolutely love in Zelda is if there's a lightning storm, you have to remove your metal equipment because you'll get hit by lightning. It's a small little touch, but
that's
cool. Your head. Shocking.
You shook your head, Eric. Why'd you shake your head?
Because I'm impressed by the level of detail. I haven't run into a thunderstorm yet.
You will.
Oh, I thought you were shaking with like having to build yourself like a little shelter. You were shaking your head during that time.
Oh no, during that. No, I don't see that level of survival mechanic going into the game. I think you'll be able to construct buildings, but I think they'll be more like the outposts that you see, and I think it'll be a larger scale project. I don't necessarily see them pushing the survival aspect that far.
I still hope they require like food and water on.
Oh, they've already said they will.
Yeah. They will. It like I could see later on, like it's going to get a lot more in depth, but like at the beginning, like there will be, like the sandstorm. Like obviously finding some shelter is pretty important because it could damage your equipment, and then all of a sudden, let's say you're on a planet that doesn't have a lot of oxygen, and your life support gets damaged. Well, you're screwed. So you got to haul ass out of there or find some derelict or just something to protect yourself. But yeah, I don't know about just suddenly like Minecraft, dig down. Place one block over your head, wait till morning.
Yeah. Question 221. What do you think of the upcoming MechWarrior game?
I didn't know there was
still a thing.
Didn't know there was one.
There's been like there's been like
I thought MechWarrior Online
didn't. No, Piranha released a teaser video of an upcoming single-player MechWarrior game that they want to do, and it looks really exciting. From a pre-rendered teaser video, it looks exciting.
Cool, that'd be good. Mechs are fun. One of my favorite purchases when I was a kid was Steel Battalion with the whole giant mech cockpit thing. Amazing, great fun.
God, I am old. My first was MechWarrior 2.
Oh, I played older ones too, but like Steel Battalion, you had the full bloody console in front of you with like an eject switch, and like you had like a little.
Was that the one that actually came with its own HOTAS sort of thing?
Yeah.
Mad. Okay.
And like you had a little switch that you'd toggle for the wipers, and you'd toggle the switch, and the wipers would go to clear like mud and rain off your mech thing. It was great. I loved it.
That's really cool.
It was very cool.
We need windshield wipers for Star Citizen, by the way.
Yes.
I haven't played a single MechWarrior game. The closest I've ever played to a MechWarrior game is Titanfall.
Titanfall's good. It's got mechs, but
the closest I've gotten.
So here's one that we should go around. Marry, Boff, Kill. Hurricane, Super Hornet, Saber.
What?
So you're
marry, buff, kill.
Yes.
Boff, as
What's
in
buff?
screw.
I don't know. Boff.
Have intercourse with.
How can you have intercourse with an inanimate object? No, never mind.
So he said Hurricane, Super Hornet, Saber.
Yeah. See, I've already got this one figured out. Marry the Saber.
Marry the Super Hornet.
No, incorrect. marry the saber. It's slightly older, but it's established, right? Like it's nice, it's established, and it's not, some roided out freak like the Super Hornet, which you kill. And then you boff
So
the
he likes
Hurricane.
his melts.
You boff the Hurricane because it looks like a uterus.
Wow, actually,
I can't disagree with that logic.
I can't disagree with that at all.
I don't know. I'm gonna go
Alright,
with the Super Hornet
Hurricane's
because
right.
I'm gonna say marry the Super Hornet because it's reliable and it gets you through the tough times, and you need someone who's dependable that you can rely on. I would probably kill the Hurricane because it's fragile. It's not gonna protect you, and it's just gonna leave you behind because it's just gonna run away. And the Saber, what was the third option?
I don't know.
Kill, buff, marry.
Oh, buff. I'd buff the Saber because it needs to be more OP than it already is.
This next question, I believe, is basically asking, will we get more essentially starter ships? The Hurricane isn't really one. There's a bit of a gap. Are we going to get more starter ships?
Yes.
I think they've said they want to, don't they? Intermediate ships between the starter and something more advanced, should we say?
The only one that I feel is really in the butter zone right now is the Avenger.
Oh.
I played EVE Online.
I used to play EVE Online for
Yes.
quite a few years.
I tried EVE Online, and then I immediately got
It's good.
destroyed. And
Yeah, but you've just got to get back in. That's the point of the game. I hate everyone going, oh, I lost my ship. Oh, that's the point of the game.
I
You
guess
work for
I
ages, get the
decided
ship,
that
lose the ship,
I
start
spend
again. It's
enough
awesome.
time. I spend enough time, in spreadsheets at work. I don't need to spend time in spreadsheets at home.
To be
All right,
fair,
that's
there
fair.
is a spreadsheet aspect of EVE Online, but at the same time, there is an actual combat aspect to it. That you can enjoy. Like I enjoyed the combat. Was it kind of dull at times? It definitely was. That's why, did Caldari for a while because hey, missiles, but then I realized they're kind of boring at the end of the day because they automatically do everything. Gunnery was cool because you actually had to align yourself perfectly to get your guns at the right angle and the trajectory. I actually liked that a lot. It felt a lot more involving than missiles, but at the end of the day, it's still you're like.
I feel detached from the game when I play it.
Well, yeah, because you're not in your ship, and that's why Star Citizen is so appealing. Is that it's first person. It's not third person looking at yourself. It's you are looking.
It's not an RTS
reflect.
where you control one ship. It's you flying your ship.
Mm-hmm.
EVE Online feels and goes for making your ships feel big, that you're more in control of something that needs to be programmed and told precisely what to do rather than move a joystick for instant gratification.
But that's the
I
problem
like
with
the wrong way to
my
say that.
instant gratification. I
Eve
liked
can't
it.
necessarily give you that depth though. You have these ships that are kilometers upon kilometers long, but you don't really get the sense of size unlike Star Citizen. Star Citizen, it's the fact that you are your character that you go up to even a Hornet. It's holy crap, this thing's big, and then you see a Starfare.
Thing
Your
is,
brain just
in Star
explodes.
Citizen,
Yep.
you're sitting in an Aurora flying by a Bengal. You can actually tell that, oh, wait, this ship is actually a kilometer long. It's not... And it's not just that the ship is a kilometer long, it's that the entire kilometer of that ship has an interior that you can walk around in. It's yeah. Do we think we're looking for a fall release of 3.0?
I don't think so. Wow, I don't really want to guess. I don't know. I would be kind of surprised if it was later than Gamescom, but I don't know.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say June.
What's
I
your
am going to
limb
go out on
count?
a limb on, say, April 16th, because I want it for my birthday.
You know what they're gonna do?
I'm
They're
going to say
gonna-
autumn.
They're gonna release 3.0
Yeah.
on your birthday.
Yeah.
And they're going to authorize every account to use it except yours.
mine. Yep.
Because Jared's just going to be like, screw you, David.
Yep.
Screw you.
And I'm just gonna message him and ask him for my bloody Christmas decorations.
He doesn't give out wreaths.
You're not Dolvac.
You should know
No, but Dolvac promised me one, and then he took them all from Dolvac, so I don't have my wreath. I want a wreath. Has anyone tested AMD Ryzen?
No, but I'm probably building one soon for a friend.
that. Like, tested it as in, like, on Star Citizen or just in general?
In general, I guess.
It's a good processor as far as like if you want to do streaming or like obviously a lot of like production work and stuff like that. Gaming, they're still having to get some of the kinks figured out as far as that goes, but it's definitely a very good start for AMD. I don't think, like, my prediction was they're not going to get exactly to where like Intel is, but if they can get close, that's huge. Like,
And
really
they're
big.
very close.
And they're very
They're
close.
just
Yeah.
they're not winning, but they're very
Yeah.
close. The other thing is, in terms of the funny thing is, gaming is the only place where Ryzen isn't amazing. It destroys in all of the other aspects, but gaming, because a lot of games still focus very heavily on a single thread. That's where Intel still has an advantage.
Wait, do people build good computers for things other than games?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact,
I don't believe it.
the best computers made are often made for like rendering.
I don't believe it.
But
And-
the other thing I wanted to mention is that what we're talking about here is very small amount. Like, Ryzen's very competitive in gaming. It's just not winning.
Mhm. It's close within
Hashtag
probably
winning? Am I
within
doing
like a
it right?
10%.
And the other
10%
thing-
margin.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking like, at high level games where all of them are running like on the 1080 Ti, all of them are running at like 130 frames a second. It's running at like 125, and the Intels are at 134.
Useless
130.
garbage. Throw it out. Get rid of it. It's not good enough.
It
The
fills a nice gap between the 6700K and the Intel Extremes, price-wise and performance-wise. It's not going to break the bank, and it's going to give you a nice bit of performance. It doesn't quite reach the Intel Extreme performance, but it also won't go near that price range.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it
like
actually
it's like
beats-
half the price.
It actually beats it almost consistently. Actually, the Intel like 69.
Yeah, the
The
6900.
50.
Yeah, it pretty much just beats the shit out of it because it's just yeah. But also
one
they
thing-
have to figure out some of the issues with the memory for AM4, and that's because Ryzen loves faster memory, and that's one of the big problems that, well, not big problems.
I actually don't think it's a problem. It's actually kind of cool that memory actually matters again. For the longest time, it
was always about timings.
One thing I wanted to really mention, though, that's really important for people here, Star Citizen will actually, they've actually talked about this recently. This will be a good Star Citizen processor because Star Citizen is going to use every scrap of resources you can give it. One of the things mentioned, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, was that they are developing a system for the game where it will actually look at your system and determine what resources you have to be used, and then it will use as much as it can. So,
Use all of the resources.
whereas a lot of games only use like 1 or 2, or maybe if you're lucky 4 threads. If you have 16, it'll use 16. So, yeah. However, yeah, like Intel's on their, like, the core series for Intel is on its 7th generation, and this is a brand new architecture. There are some kinks absolutely that need to be worked out.
No, it's supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to beat Intel.
But-
If it doesn't beat Intel, it's shit.
On the other side of the same coin, yes, it's new architecture, but they've also, I think an AMD engineer recently said that because it's new architecture, there's a lot more they could still get out of it to optimize it performance-wise as well.
Yeah, they're already working on Zen 2 and Zen 3, so that's
It's not
pretty
like Bulldozer where you're trying to squeeze shit out of shit. It's just
So, hey guys, do you remember Star Citizen?
I
What's
just
that?
mentioned Star Citizen.
Sorry, I
Tied
tuned
this
out
in
that
with that.
entire.
Yes, we know you hate
Is
AMD,
that like
David.
Battlezone?
AMD is or David's an avid AMD hater. He
If
does
you
not
don't like
them.
AMD, that's totally fine. But you know why it's important that AMD actually comes out with
Competition.
a good product? Yes.
Oh,
that's
I
why.
would like them to come out with a good product. I'm just waiting for that to happen.
Why isn't
so
it a good product?
Such a bitch.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
sorry, I'm trolling. I'm trolling. Have you played Hellion Alpha yet? And if so, what are your thoughts on it?
I really want to play that game. I haven't gotten to it yet though.
I have not gotten to it because it costs money, and between a Switch
Yeah, how dare
and
they?
Zelda and Mass Effect and Life.
Is it a card game?
No, it's like a space game. Hellion.
Yeah.
It
On
looks
Steam.
interesting. I just
I'm
Okay,
still
I
waiting
like-
for
I
the
like-
new
I
South
like-
Park game, but that got delayed.
yeah, it did.
I like Googled it, and there's like
Don't
other
Google it.
stuff.
Go to Steam and like look it up in the Steam store. Wait. What
Anyways,
just
what's the next
happened?
question?
So the next question is from Hermias, but I will let our host.
Oh right,
Question.
there's names. Sorry, I haven't been reading the names because they were off the screen for me. So Haramus asks, you speculated in a recent episode that it'd be reasonable to test some 3.0 mechanics in between patch 2.7. Is there any new info about that, or is it like in line with pipeline stuff we saw, or?
I still have the same feeling on it. I think it's pretty likely. But I think it really depends on where they're at with 3.0. Like if like next week they're like, holy crap, we've got all of our subsumption problems fixed and the planets are done, and we just need some few months to test everything, then maybe not. But if they're thinking longer term, then yeah, probably. Hopefully that made sense.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, it's like Ben said in his Q&A. You know, if there's enough content and they haven't quite got it 3.0 locked down, then they might.
So last question we have, and then we're gonna start winding down the cast.
Pretty dirt.
Does
Abdo.
that mean we speak slower?
Or did you
Yes,
stop the
it
Swedish chef?
does.
Pretty
Or we
bird.
speak whale.
Pretty bird.
So Abdo asks, do
Peter.
you think we'll see a starter package ship other than the Mustang and the Aurora, but with the same price? Will we see another like $45 or whatever it is American starter package?
I was tempted to answer as a Swedish chef myself. I maybe. I mean, there wouldn't be any harm, long term at the very least, offering more $45 ships. But I don't think that would be a priority at the moment. You've got the two. Maybe when they've designed a few more of the non-combat starter ships, then they'll be available then. I hope that answers your question. I'm afraid I can't take the next question because I forgot to bookmark the question document from the last time.
Oh, that
but
was
that
the last
doesn't matter
question.
now
Don't worry,
anyway.
Shiver. I'm just gonna. No, we're out of questions now. Thank you to everyone that asked questions. If in the interim between now and next week you decide that you have another question that you want to ask, put it in that document. We'll get to it next week. That said, come back and watch us again next week, same time, same Twitch channel, whatever you call a Twitch thing. I don't even know. In the interim, we've got some stuff coming up on Relay, like we always do. CanadianSyrup, what have we got to transcribe this week?
Bodyburger, Monday, Cinders of Bucker, Spinner, Book Batter, Bucketeberg, Paper. No, that's just okay. Let's stop now. Monday Citizens and Stars as per usual. No idea what's going to be on that show. I think Wednesday is going to be Buck Smashers. I think so. Yeah, Buck Smashers. I think is going to be on ATV. Obviously Thursday and Friday happy hour. So I think I'm.
He doesn't
triggering
care
Chris.
anymore.
I'm triggering Chris so hard right now because
Right. Sorry.
Because he is Swedish, and in Sweden they had a sense of humor, but he is unfortunately the man who does not have the sense of humor.
It's okay. Everyone says us Canadians say A all the time, eh? But, I mean, I've never said A in my life, eh?
Ah.
It's not all about Tukes and Poutine and Naki up here, eh?
And Naki?
Hey, you want to
Anaki.
go out for a rip? You want to go out for a rip?
Yeah,
bring
let's
it,
go
bud?
out for a rip, give it a smoking...
I knew we shouldn't have given you independence. I knew that was a mistake.
Giving it to us.
No, you haven't given us independence. We're still...
You're
The
still a
queen,
dominion,
the
aren't
the
you?
queen is still our monarch. We are still a monarchy.
No, you're a democratic commonwealth.
We're a monarchy.
You choose to be in the Commonwealth. You sign up for it. You volunteer for it. Anyone could technically volunteer to be in the Commonwealth now. Let anyone in now. Don't have to be a part of the Empire anymore. They'll let anyone in.
What empire? You guys kind of lost that whole thing. Anyway,
Hey.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that over your colony.
what colony?
I'm sorry. Who do you have as your prime minister?
Someone no one voted for. Move on.
It's actually great because we can now look south and across the pond and be like, man, we've actually got a leader that's so much better than both of you.
Is that what you... So you don't think, well, I'm trapped between a rock and a hard place.
No, I think we're nice and cold up here. No American's gonna come up and bother us, eh? Because there's too much snow and they don't know how to deal with that, eh? And you weirdos over there, all you get is rain. You don't know what to do with the snow, and we're okay over here, eh?
Yep. You want to go for a
West
rip? And we're
Base,
just
that's
like,
true.
oh yeah, we're fine up here. Also for Chris, it's annoying that people think we sound like that. That is all. Every other country does it. Okay.
Every single country thinks that we sound like this, eh? We're just a bunch of little hosers going out for a rip, and we get the poutine, and we get the beer, and we go and have a 2-4, and get us some bagged
we will.
milk, and eh?
I don't know what they're talking about.
No, dude,
it's like America. What's the first thing you think about as a foreigner
Texas.
when you think about America? Texas.
Yep.
That's it. Everyone, you don't speak like you have something in your cheek. You know? like that.
It's funny watching all these young countries getting a little bit sassy about
Young
other
countries or
countries,
young
and we're
people?
just sat here with our thousands of years of history. Yeah, you're cute.
I heard so Chris was like, Canada will build a wall and make America pay for it. I heard someone call me something the other day, and I was like, I was impressed, and I didn't know if I should be offended. So apparently, we're called snow Mexicans up here. I had no idea that was a thing. We're called snow Mexicans.
Actually,
Oh,
Trump actually called Canadian snow Mexicans.
And I had never heard that before, and I was like, I don't know if I should feel offended or be like, I'm impressed. Like, I didn't
Trust
know
me,
that
being
was-
Canadian is
That is a
amazing.
new level of racism, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm so
That's
I'm so
terrible.
shocked.
Okay, so I'm
Well-
gonna go play Switch for a week. I'll be back after Zelda. Nehkara wants to say something, I believe.
Yes, we missed something.
What did we miss?
We missed something from Happy Hour. They
Oh.
actually mentioned.
Yes.
mentioned the handheld or the handheld character carried railgun again, the one that actually is meant to shoot down ships. Yeah, I want that. Can we please see that?
Yes. They also
Oh,
mentioned
yes.
that atmospheric flight will change based on the gravity of the planet you're flying in the atmosphere of, which is great.
Yep.
That said, that's it for us. We'll try and have some kind of an article on something this week, but Zelda's probably going to consume most of our lives. As always, you can check Relay for any transcripts and stuff. If you're in Boston, head to John Wicks. No. Where is it? Jacob Worth. Head to Jacob Worth in Boston, 8 p.m. If you're in Boston, go grab some drinks, tell Jake he smells. If not, come back here next week.
Can I just quickly
same
say,
time.
if you
Go
want
ahead,
to
Shiver.
sneak into chat, don't be friends with Desmarius, because the moment you open fucking Twitch, he's like, oh, hello, everyone. And it's like, you might not want to be helloed, so don't add Des as a friend if you want to be quiet, okay?
So
I love you, Des.
He stares at the list of people who are currently watching, and he just waits for it to update.
Bless him.
Dez is awesome. We love you, Dez. That said, also, if you want just a quicker roundup of the news, that'll probably be going up tomorrow. That's the Relay Replay. And that's all we got. We'll see you next week. Go play Zelda. Zelda.
That's exactly what we mean. Go play Zelda.
Can't survive 4.
Goodbye.
Bye.